Alright, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to BallerNation. I'm gonna be trying to do something a little bit different here on the YouTube channel. I want to kind of put up more like actual YouTube videos about basketball, not just podcasts and shit like that. Even though I do fuck with doing podcasts, but I'm gonna just try this and hopefully y'all fuck with it. But today I'm gonna be ranking in a tier list every single All-Star selection of 2021. I'm going to be including Devin Booker because he will be playing in the All-Star game in replacement of Anthony Davis. I've got megastar, superstar, star tier, good tier, solid starter quality, which none of these guys are, and then there's above average bench player, and all the fucking rest just don't apply to these guys because it's the fucking All-Stars. Anyway, I found this one, and it's already, like, I just found this on Random Tier Maker, and it's got every single player in the league, so it's going to be a bit of a bitch. It's gonna be a little bit of a bitch to kind of like sort through and all that shit. And I'm trying to record this during the halftime of the Lakers Jazz game, which, by the way, the Utah Jazz are so fucking good at shooting 3-pointers. It's kind of getting ridiculous. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up real quick the All-Star selection. All right, and let's get going. All right, we're gonna start off with Jason Tatum. Now you guys are gonna see that throughout the course of this video. I mean, I'm not very lenient, okay? Like, megastar, it's very difficult. Superstar, very difficult. All right, I'm gonna put Jason Tatum. I'm gonna put him at a star, and the difference between star and good is pretty big. I'm gonna probably change this to like almost star. It's gonna be good, and the rest we don't really fucking care about. I'm gonna put Jason Tatum at a star level right now. Next up, the one and only Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi's got to be a megastar for me. I think personally he's the top 3 player in the NBA right now. I don't really know where the narrative came from that he's not that. I mean, he did have he had 2 bad games against the Denver Nuggets last year in the second round of the playoffs. But I don't think that 2 bad games makes you no longer a top 3 player in the league, especially when you're already as good as Kawhi Leonard is, and he's balling out this year. Paul George as well is one of these guys who he had a poor playoff series against the Denver Nuggets last year and got a lot of slander for it. He's not quite a superstar for me, but he is a star. I think he's pretty underrated. I mean, he's been balling out with the Clippers so far this year. All right, up next, Anthony Davis. Now, AD is not going to be actually playing in the All-Star game, and he has been having a pretty bad season so far for Anthony Davis standards. That being said, for me, he's still got to be a superstar. I think come playoff time, he'll come around, and he's going to be balling out in the playoffs in no time. All right, it's time to get going with the big guy, LeBron James. I think he's the best player in the world right now. Has a chance of one day becoming the greatest player of all time in my books. He's already the greatest player of all time in many others' books. Easily a megastar in today's NBA. All right, we got the Phoenix boys up next. We got Chris Paul and Devin Booker coming up. Again, Booker didn't actually make the All-Star reserve selections, but he will be playing in the game in replacement of Anthony Davis. Starting out with Chris Paul, he did actually make it, and I think CP3 is extremely underrated. I'm gonna say he's a star in the NBA today, nearly a superstar. But he's definitely, for me, a top 15 player in the league easily. Up next is Devin Booker, the guy who definitely got snubbed from the All-Star game. I think he should have been in there instead of Anthony Davis, just straight up. But he will be playing in replacement of Anthony Davis. For me, he's a star in today's NBA, and I'm noticing already that a lot of these guys are stars, almost star. I mean, I don't even think we're gonna be using that. It's just star, superstar, megastar. All right, up next, Zach LaVine from the Chicago Bulls. He got snubbed last year, made it this year. I'm gonna give him star tier. He's been balling out in the NBA so far. I want to see him playing on a good team, similar to how Devin Booker. It felt like just he was putting up great numbers, but it didn't really. The numbers sort of felt sort of plastic because he was playing on a shitty team. That's sort of the way I feel about Zach LaVine's numbers right now. I know he's a great player, but his numbers don't really mean that much to me right now. Until I see him doing that shit on a playoff caliber team, I'm gonna chill out in Zach LaVine, but still a star in the NBA today. Up next is Giannis Antetokounmpo, and probably one of the first real controversial ones that I've had so far. For me, for Giannis, is between megastar and superstar. Now, going into last year, I definitely would have put a megastar. But at this current moment, I mean, shit, it's tough, bro. I don't know. I mean, I can't put a megastar. I gotta just give him superstar. Superstar is still really good. You're gonna see there's not a lot of players in the superstar tier. I gotta say superstar for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm not gonna call him a megastar. I want to see him do more in the playoffs. Honestly, you're gonna notice a lot of these guys that have a megastar. They've done it in the playoffs already. All right, up next we got Luka Doncic out of Dallas. Now, he was an All-Star starter. I don't think he should have been a starter. I believe that spot should have been given to Damian Lillard. But still, Luka Doncic is a great pick. He just had a game winner last night. I think, as I'm recording this right now, he had a game winner last night against the Boston Celtics. Had a big 3 before he hit that game winner against the Boston Celtics last night. From me, I mean, he's a young player. I'm gonna give him the superstar tier from me. and that's a lot of praise. I mean, he's in his third year. I think we're all forgetting that a normal player in their third and second year are not supposed to be putting up the kind of numbers Luka has been putting up so far this year and what he put up last year. I mean, Zion Williamson's having an amazing year, but I think we're kind of just not talking about Zion's numbers because it's his second year, and compared to what Luka Doncic is doing in his second year, it's kind of like it doesn't look as good in the shadow of Luka's great second year. For that reason, I gotta give Luka Doncic superstar, soon to be NBA champion. I think maybe not in Dallas, but if he gets out of Dallas or shit, maybe even in Dallas, he can win an NBA championship. They're definitely gonna have to make a lot of changes to that roster though. Up next is another tough one for me, James Harden. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put him in superstar tier right now, right away. But I'm telling you guys that at this current moment in time, James Harden, I think, is playing basketball at a higher level than any other player in the entire NBA is playing at right now. This guy, with the Brooklyn Nets right now, he is phenomenal. Without Kevin Durant, the things that he's been doing with the basketball, him and Kyrie have been absolutely cooking. And Harden's been reminding us this year that, he's putting up 24 points per game, but that's literally his choice. Because we've seen in games where the Nets need this guy to score a lot of baskets, he goes out there and gives Brooklyn 35, 40 points. And in other games when Harden's required to just sit back, chill, facilitate, give the ball to KD, Bruce Brown might have it going, Kyrie might have it going, this guy can chill, give you a 13-point triple-double with 15 assists. That James Harden, he's such a great versatile player. Him and LeBron James, I think, right now are the two most versatile players in that they do whatever the team requires them of doing. They can go out there, give you a big scoring night one night, turn around, score a little less points the next night, and give you hella assists. Up next is Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie Irving, for me this year, I got to give him a superstar tier. Last year, definitely not. The year before that, definitely not. He would have been a star. But the way Kyrie's been balling out right now in Brooklyn, it's ridiculous. Like I said, the Brooklyn Nets right now are playing at a ridiculously high level. It's Kyrie, it's James Harden, it's Kevin Durant, who I haven't even got to. They got 3 All-Stars. I think Harden probably could have been a starter over Bradley Beal, or even over Kyrie, but either way, the Brooklyn Nets, their superstars right now are dominating. All right, up next we got the one and only Zion Williamson. I already mentioned him a little bit while talking about Luka Doncic. Now, for me, Zion, this is going to be tough and probably pretty unpopular, but I think it's too early to say he's a star in the NBA, at least for my standards. For my standards, all right, your standards might be a little bit different, but the way I rank it, I mean, all these guys who are stars, I think they're a lot more proven than Zion Williamson is so far. I'm going to give Zion an almost star. I think Zion Williamson definitely has the talent of guys like Tatum or Chris Paul. Maybe not even the talent of those guys, but he's definitely on the way to being there. By the end of this year, I think he'll probably be a star in the NBA in my books. But right now, he hasn't even played 100 games in his NBA career yet, and I don't think he's quite had. I'm not even going to say that. I think Zion Williamson. Yeah, I'm going to say he's almost a star for me. That's the way I've been ranking this. Like I said, it's very difficult. There's not a lot of stars that I think are in the NBA right now, like as far as my criteria for that. Not a lot of superstars, very few megastars in the NBA right now. But Zion Williamson, for me, nearly a star. He's nearly there. All right, up next is Nikola Vucevic. Now this is tough because I want to say he's a star in the NBA right now, but I can't say that Vucevic is a star and Zion Williamson isn't a star. That's just not something that I can do. And I'm very tempted right now to say fuck you and give Zion Williamson a star right now too. I think that's probably the right choice. Vucevic and Zion Williamson, both stars right now in the NBA. It has to be. Okay, I fucked up. I should never have put Zion Williamson as almost a star. Now, fuck me. Zion Williamson is 100% a star. And I'm gonna give Vucevic that too. Why the fuck not? All right, Bradley Beal. This might be another controversial one for a lot of people, but for me it's pretty easy. I'm gonna just give him a star label. I don't think that he's quite a superstar. And by the way, afterwards I'm probably gonna switch up the orders just to make shit more accurate. But I'm gonna say Bradley Beal for now. He's just a star, almost a superstar. I don't even think Bradley Beal is a top 15 player in the NBA. I'm not gonna cap. I don't think he is. Similar to Zach LaVine, great skill, puts up great numbers, but it feels like his stats are sort of plastic. That's sort of what it feels like. It feels like empty calories. That's what Shannon Sharp would say. I'm gonna say that shit too. Feels like empty calories because he's putting up great numbers, but his team isn't doing very good. And I think that if he played on a better team, he would have a great impact on that team, and he'd be a top 2, top 3 player on a really good team. Maybe even the best player on a really good team. but his stats would go way down, and I don't think he'd be looked at. I mean, shit, maybe I look at him in a different way because his team would be winning more. But for me, for him in Washington, I'm gonna just say he's a star. All right, it's time. The fantasy basketball demigod. It's the one and only. It's Nikola Jokic. This boy, damn near megastar, but for me, I have to say he's a superstar. He's a very obvious superstar for me. There's no way that he's just a star. There's no way that he's a megastar yet because he hasn't really done much in terms of winning championships, leading teams to championships, stuff like that. I mean, he made the third round last year, made the second round the year before that. His team's not doing so well this year, but he's got to be superstar for me. He is a demigod. Damian Lillard is a really tough one for me. I think this year so far, I'd say he's a superstar this year so far. But the reason why I say it's a tough one is because he has not really ever performed to a superstar level after the first round of the playoffs. Second, third round, fourth round, that's a lot different than what he does in the regular season and in the first round of the playoffs. The reason why I'm still giving the superstar level is though, when you look at it, especially a guy like Luka Doncic, we haven't even seen Luka Doncic after the first round of the playoffs. Therefore, I can't judge him on that. And I still have him as a superstar. I can obviously judge Damian Lillard for what he does after the first round of the playoffs because I've seen it. But I think that when you look at the players I've got as stars and as superstars, I think it's pretty fair. And he's having a great year. Portland's lost 3 in a row as I'm recording this right now. But the fact that his team is, I think, 5th right now in the Western Conference, 4th or 5th, without CJ McCollum and without Nurkic as well, the second and third best player on the team, and Damian's leading to the 4th seed in the Western Conference or the 5th seed in the West. Ridiculous shit from Damian Lillard. All right, up next is another controversial one. A lot of people don't like this man, Rudy Gobert. For me, I'm not gonna say he's almost a star. For me, I gotta give Rudy Gobert the star level and he might not score a lot, and his stats might not look that good. For a 7'3" player, you're like, yo, all right, we expect him to grab 13, 14 rebounds a game. But he brings so much value to the Utah Jazz, both on offense and defense. And his team, I mean, you could argue that he's the most valuable player right now to the best team in the league record-wise. Therefore, I think he 100% deserved the All-Star selection, by the way. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. Y'all can say that Devin Booker got robbed, Devin Booker got snubbed, but if one of y'all motherfuckers try to tell me that Devin Booker should have been an All-Star over a guy like Rudy Gobert, over his teammate, even Chris Paul, I have to I can't agree with you at all. I just can't do it. I can see why you might think that. The numbers are there, the stats are there. Booker's a more flashy player, but as far as what each of those players bring to the basketball court and what they have brought to the basketball court this season, I have to take Rudy Gobert and I have to take CP3 over Devin Booker. That being said, I think Booker's a better player than Rudy Gobert, but as far as who's been doing the most and who's been doing better, I'd honestly say this year, I take Rudy over Devin Booker. All right, up next we have Donovan Mitchell. Now for me, he's a star in the NBA right now. Not quite a superstar, obviously not megastar, and a star is the perfect spot for him. Similar to Rudy Gobert, arguably the best player on the best team in the NBA currently right now. He's been absolutely balling out. He's a machine. He's as clutch as they come. And honestly, when I hear people trying to tell me that the Atlanta Hawks 2014-15 are the same team that the Utah Jazz are this year, I can't disagree with you anymore. And obviously we don't quite know. The Jazz could flame out in the playoffs, but I'm gonna guarantee you guys right now, it's a BallerNation guarantee, the Utah Jazz are twice the team the Atlanta Hawks were in 2014-15. Now, I watched that Hawks team, and I watched them get clapped 4 straight by LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, who was young, 22 years old, putting up only 13 points per game in that series. I watched that Hawks team, and I watched this Utah Jazz team literally put up 25 3-pointers, it seems like, a night. There ain't no fucking way this Utah Jazz team is ever getting clapped like that in the playoffs. I don't care who the fuck they play. If the Jazz make the NBA Finals and go up against the Brooklyn Nets, they are not getting clapped. I'm gonna say it's a close series. If the Jazz go up against the Lakers, fully healthy Lakers in the playoffs, they ain't getting clapped. It's a full series. I mean, you look at the Atlanta Hawks in 2014-15. They never had a defensive player like Rudy Gobert. They never had a player like Rudy Gobert. They didn't have a big guy who could defend and rebound like Rudy Gobert could. They never had a player as clutch as Donovan Mitchell. They didn't really have a star like Donovan Mitchell. They had Jeff Teague, but Jeff Teague ain't on Donovan Mitchell. They never had shooters like the Utah Jazz have around their stars. They had Kyle Korver. He was nice. He was a great shooter. He was an all-star that year. but they never had the plethora of shooters. They got, I mean, the Jazz got Joe Ingles, Bogdanovich, Clarkson, Mitchell, Royce. I mean, you go down the roster, they all just can threes. Atlanta never had a roster that deep. All right, up next, we got a New York Knick in the All-Star game, which is quite ridiculous. I mean, I think Julius Randle got to be the first Knick since, I mean, it has to be since Carmelo Anthony. It has to be. Who the fuck else did New York had? Carmelo Anthony, the last person. Julius Randle. From me right now, he looks like he's sort of running away with the Most Improved Player of the Year award so far. I think Nikola Jokic deserves to have his name thrown in the hat for that award, but I understand he's never going to win it because he's already a star. He's already a superstar in the NBA. But I'm telling y'all, Nikola Jokic deserves to be in consideration for Most Improved Player. But shout out Julius Randle, having a great year. All right, up next is Joel Embiid. Now, Joel Embiid, for me this year, he's going straight to superstar tier. Last year, I would have had him in star, but the way he's balling out this year, and this goes to show that if Joel Embiid can stay healthy and stay consistent and keep his mentals right and straight, there's no stopping this man. There's literally nothing you can stop. Up next is Ben Simmons, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how the fuck Ben Simmons was an all-star. I think he's a star in the NBA today, but I don't know how the fuck this man made it over a guy like DeMontis Sabonis or even Trae Young. I thought the fans are gonna vote over, we're gonna just obliterate Ben Simmons, but he's an all-star. He's a great defensive player. I'm gonna give him that. He's great on defense, can move the ball pretty well, but I just don't know how to fuck. I don't know how to fuck. I don't know how the fuck he's. I don't know how the fuck he made the All-Star game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what drugs he was on when we voted Ben Simmons in. I don't know. All right, up next we got Stephen Curry. For me, he's going straight to megastar. We've already seen him win 3 NBA championships. Not a Finals MVP yet, but 3 NBA championships. He's one of the most influential players in NBA history, if not the most influential player in NBA history. Straight to megastar, the face of the NBA for like 4 years there, way back in Golden State. All right, we got Jaylen Brown up next, Boston Celtic player. I'm gonna give him a star category right now. He's having a great year in Boston, breakout year in Boston. I'm predicting it right now. Jaylen Brown, it was his year this year to break out. Next year is DeJounte Murray's time to break out, and he's gonna do the same sort of thing that Jaylen Brown was doing this year, kind of take everyone by storm, putting up big numbers and leading his teams to a lot of early wins. I say early wins because Boston sort of, I mean, they've hit a wall. I don't know what the fuck happened to the Boston Celtics, man. They've hit a fucking wall. All right, finally we got the one and only Kevin Durant, and he's going straight to megastar for me. I don't think I need to explain that one at all. But yeah, let's go. Let's rank these guys. Let's rank these guys. First of all, for megastar, I'm gonna put LeBron James at number 1. I fuck with Kawhi Leonard a lot, but I'm gonna put Kawhi at number 3. Steph Curry can go at 4. I'm gonna go like that for megastar. For me, I still got Kawhi Leonard ahead of Stephen Curry. I'm gonna go like that. All right, this is the finished rankings in order of how I've ranked every single All-Star so far this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys want to see me make more videos like this, leave a like, drop a comment of other videos you want me to see. And yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Drop a sub if you haven't already, and peace out.